Okay, so let's just get started. The first thing you want to do, wherever you took your shots, is create a processing folder. In there, you're going to create two more folders. One's going to be Debayer, and the next one you can name it Register, Registration, Registered, Align, whatever you want in that vicinity. Processes is where we do most of the work in here. So we're going to start out and go to Debayer. So I'll process Debayer. We're going to make sure at the top you choose RGGB, and then under noise evaluation, iterative, K sigma, you want to go to where you took your pictures. This is where I did. I took some 1 minute. That's my 60. I'm just going to do them all just so I have more files to show you guys. And then my 4 minute ones, we're going to open up, add them all. Make sure you select that Debayer folder that you chose. You have to put them somewhere. If you don't, it's going to run through the whole thing and save nowhere. So make sure you do that. Let's press the circle. This is going to run through. So the importance of the Debayer is when you shoot in RAW, which we all do, you are essentially adding a value to one single color. So one color has different values, and that's the raw. In Lightroom, that gives you more room to play with those. But in here, in order to get more natural coloration, we want to split that up into RGB, and that's what we're doing. It's going through and assigning values to the RGB channels that are within each image, and that's going to be huge for astrophotography. So that's what we are running through. Okay, so that is done. Our next step is going to be to register them, which essentially is aligning all of your images. I'm going to clear that out. What you want to do is come up here, go to File, then hit the little down arrow, go to your Debayer folder, and select one of those bad boys. First one's fine, doesn't really matter. Then you're gonna go, make sure all of your settings look like this. Make sure generate drizzle data is selected. I'll go over that in a second. Just select all of your files, open them, and then we're gonna go through these steps. All right, output again, make sure you select that register, align, that second folder that we made. All right. And then we're going to go through, minimize, open. What I usually do is 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. I missed a 1 there. For the sensitivity, I do negative 1.5, peak 80. Just make sure generally it looks like this. Star matching, the ransack, make 3, 4,000 for iterations, and descriptors are 60. These are the settings that I have really found work best to get a successful alignment most of the time. Sometimes there's some weirdness. We can go into that later. So the drizzle data. The drizzle data is really important only if you have a very in focus image. If you're a little fuzzy, don't use it because it'll make the situation much worse. What drizzle does is during the registration, it's looking at each pixel and it's pulling the data from each pixel and aligning it with the other images. What can happen is because it's averaging the data from each pixel, it can kind of look a little mosaic-y, like you're not going to see it, but if you really zoom in, you can see it. What the drizzle data does is it pulls all of the little details there that might fall outside of that average and saves it so that it'll actually add more detail to your image. Again, if it's very in focus, it'll look great. If it's not, it'll look much worse. But I hope that makes sense. So each pixel has an average, and the drizzle data this average can sometimes make you lose the fine details that you want to catch in these nebulas and the moon and whatever you're shooting. But the drizzle data will actually sub in and fill in some of that missing detail, which makes it just absolutely stunning. So drizzle is so cool, and give it a try. I always use it, once again, if in focus. So what we are going to do next is integration, which is the actual stacking. I'm going to clear everything here. So we're going to go back at our files registered, just highlight all of your files and select open, and then click this button right up here to add your drizzle data, and open. And then we're going to go through each one of these. So this is important. Make sure all of your settings match this. So combination, average, all of these guys look the same. Noise value, by weight, all important. For some reason, I skipped one. We'll go back. Don't worry about it. So sigma low at 3, that's going to cut all of your low pixels and high pixels. And there we go. Back to number 1. It's important that you choose the right one here. Each one of these has a different one. The ones that I use mostly are these guys. So average sigma is going to do, if you have 10 to 15 frames. Sigma clipping is for 15 to 20. Windsorize is for 20 plus, and linear fit clipping is for 25 frames and up. So you want to do that. Scale plus 0 offset is important, and there we go. So this is going to run. So honestly, I'm not really sure of the science behind the different sigma settings. I just read in Pixinsight, this is what you use. I'll be honest with you, I always use sigma clipping. It just seems to work great. I don't know. I've tested sigma versus winsorized, sigma versus linear fit. Again, the values were average sigma is 10 to 15 frames. Sigma clipping is 15 to 20 frames. Winsorized is 20 to 25 frames. And linear fit clipping is 25 frames and up. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why it matters, but I just know that's what they've told me. I've also heard from a lot of people that they just always use Sigma, and it seems to work fine. Test it out on your own. I don't know. Here we go. So as you can see, the frames are starting to pop up. We have our high rejection here. You can just close all those out. So the next step is actually processing the image. If you go up to image, you can do this auto stretch, Mac Command A, Windows Control A, and it'll give you like a quick histogram explosion. So as you can see here, it's very green. That's the RGGB. That's how DSLRs roll. Don't know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to extract all the channels. That was process, color spaces, channel extraction. So go ahead and just, with auto, everything set, press square. So next we are going to go process. Yeah, there we go. Color or image inspection statistics. Click your integration file. That's the main one, and you're going to look at median, right? And so as we're looking at it in median, you can see the red, green, and blue have different values, right? So the red is the lowest value, so that's what we're going to apply to the blue and the green. So we're going to color calibration and linear fit, okay? So our reference image is going to be our red because it is the lowest value. So go ahead and click that, press OK, and then you're going to do the little 90-degree triangle thing, apply it to blue, grab the triangle, just drag it and drop it on the blue frame, let it run, do its thing. All right, that's all done. So then we're going to do the same thing to green. There we go. Boop. Let it drop, do its thing. And once this is done, we are going to then go to the same spot as the channel extraction. Right above it was channel combination. So process, color spaces, channel combination. Don't do auto, just click there. It'll actually already pop up. Boom, boom, boom. Press circle, and away we go. This is going to run. It's really quick, and it's done. Okay, close it out, close it out. Okay, so we're going to do the auto stretch again, and a much nicer color. Okay, the next step, so yeah, you can, we're always told not to clear or not to close windows, but I just can't. You can do that or minimize them, like the integration, the main one. I'll always save that. I just minimize, put it to the side. Next, we're going to work on the background. So process, background modelization. You can do automatic here. I just keep all the settings the same. I don't mess with it. Go down to target image correction, subtraction. You can try with normalize or without. We're going to do without, or I guess with first. Without first. And let it run. It's pretty quick. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Okay. There we go. Auto stretch. There we go. Pretty beautiful. Okay, and now we're going to try with normalization. Let's see what happens. I usually do this with all of my images. I do one with, one without. The results are varying. Some images look better with it. Some images look better without it. This one, let's see. Minimize that bad boy. So there is, oh boy, go away. There is without normalization. There is with normalization. To me, I would say that with normalization looks better. Yeah. Oh, my mom's calling. So after that, we're going to process geometry dynamic crop. Let's see, that looks about good. I just want to get rid of all of that vignetting around the side. It's a nice sharp image, so I can really bring it in. We're going to work on the background. We're going to do automatic. We're going to do subtraction, normalization, and go for the gold. Try both normalization and without normalization. Some of my images look better with it, some do not. It really depends. So boom, there is our image. Already looking really nice just with that one little tweak. So we're going to go and do a color calibration processes. Color calibration. All right. So what we're going to do here is you need to pick a preview. So I zoom in. You need to get a square of dark space and make sure you get a decent sized square, but make sure there are no stars inside of it. So that little button I press up there is for the preview. So go ahead and select that. Then you're going to click on, you need to select that preview, and then your reference image is automatically going to be whatever image is up. You can go for it, and then what it just does is it kind of tweaks the colors. You're telling it essentially, oh, this area here is supposed to be the darkest. Although with this image, it's not really true. Anyway, we're going to go here. Process, intensity transformation, histogram transformation. Okay, what we're doing is this little circle here actually gives you a preview of your image. This is as it is. Remember that auto stretch is just temporary. It's only for your eyes. It's not going to save that way. So what you do, select RGBK, and then take the middle slider and bring it very far to the left, almost on top of the black. and select that, okay? And then grab your black and bring it back over. This is your actual histogram, transformation. So yeah, play with these. Don't touch the little triangle that's all the way to the right. That's going to lighten your entire image and wash things out. So honestly, I probably spend 5-10 minutes on this, just getting it perfect. And sometimes it doesn't really look very good when I'm done. Like this looks like chaos. Don't worry about this. That's just if you were to apply the settings again. So this is where I'm at with it. Doesn't look great, but we're getting a lot of detail, and I'm really loving it. Next up, we're going to do the curves, um, which is the same thing, process, intensity transformation, and the curves. Hit our little circle to get our preview, and then you can play with this. So if you grab in the bottom left corner, you're going to pull out the darks. Top right corner, you're playing with your highlights. L is for luminosity. So just play with all of them. Yeah, I mean, grab the top little, grab the middle. This is our saturation. You can grab this, bring this way up, and make it super gorgeous. I noticed that it was looking pretty green still. So then I grabbed my green and brought the green down out of the image. And that really brought out the real colors, those pinks and blues and purples. Yeah, and then already did luminosity, the color. This is kind of like a fine accentuation. This just kind of, it's not as dramatic as the saturation, but yeah, it still looks absolutely stunning. The next thing that I do, sometimes I do this in order, or sometimes I do this before the curves, and sometimes I do it after the curve. We are going to sharpen it up a little bit. So we go to process, we go to mask generation, range selection. Okay, so then hit our little preview circle. Take the top slider and move it all the way, not all the way, but just so it, kind of encompasses the areas that you want to sharpen. So right now it looks like we have the star, the middle of the thing, the Orion, and Running Man. Then you're going to take your smoothness all the way to the right. Run it, hit the square to run. There is our mask. You're going to grab the little, oh yeah, let me clear out this. The preview, you're going to grab this little tab here, bring it right next to the other one, and there's your mask. Don't close it, it'll kill your mask. Minimize, throw it up there. And as you can see, we only have these certain areas showing. Let me clean up a little bit, tidy house. Yes, there they are. Process. Down to convolution, down to unsharp mask. Okay. Once again, preview button. Um, that little thing on the bottom right is just to clear all my settings. So you want to take your middle slider and move it to the right as much as you need. You can check on that. First let's talk about de-ringing. So as you move it over, you'll see little black circles going around your stars. This is fixed by clicking the de-ringing. I'm not doing it here, but if you check the de-ringing and then on the dark slider, move that back and forth, usually between 0.0 to 0.1, and it'll fill in those black circles. Also, what you're going to see is that in the masked area, your stars are going to start to get brighter as you sharpen it. What you want to do to fix that is the bright toggle, move that back and forth so it matches the brightness of the stars in the other areas of your picture. So after you check that you like it, just hit the square button to run, and you can get rid of your mask by that little button up there. Next, we're going to work on the noise. So this little rainbow button with the lens on it in the top, towards the left, you select that. That is going to just pull the luminance. What you want to do is invert that. So image, invert, boom. Now you have a mask. Once again, grab your tab, toss it over, and now, if you've done a good job, which clearly in this picture I have not because it's all red, what should happen is only the brightest areas should be protected and the rest should be black. But you're going to go to Process, Noise Reduction, TGV Denoise. Select a preview. It's important because it does take a little bit to run. And if you just keep doing it over and over, it's going to be a mess. And it's going to take forever. So if you do a preview of an area that looks, really troublesome, then you can practice it on that area. So just move your strength up and down. Edge protection is important. So you don't want it to look super crazy. That's going to help you there. And also smoothing everything out is important. So just play with those, see what works for your particular image, and then press the square. When you looks good on your preview, just toggle over to your image and apply those settings to your entire image. That is important. It's going to take a little bit to run, which is no big deal. Excuse me. Alright, I think we're gonna fast forward through this, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, so now that we are done, we're going to use this button over here to clear our mask, and take a look at our image, and for what we can get done in Pixinsight as beginners, there's so much more that this software can do, I just don't know. This looks pretty good. I am happy with it. I'm going to clear out this preview. I like it. I like it a lot. So obviously the next thing that we have to do is save it. So we're going to save it as a TIFF file. Name it whatever you want. I usually create another folder as final. Save it as a TIFF. Save. Yes. Okay. So you want to make sure that it's as a 16-bit unsigned integer, and the only two you want to choose for compression is none or zip. Do not use LZW, whatever. You lose so much. And make sure it's 16. If it's lower, it's going to look like crap. If it's higher, 32, it's going to be so blown out when you bring it into Lightroom. It's nuts. And that is it. Okay, guys, so if you have any questions, just shoot them below. Thanks for checking it out. Like I said, I'm very much a beginner, so still working everything out. I hope this helps. Don't hesitate to ask for any questions, because I actually am a part of another group that will help me as well. If you guys are interested in that, I can let you know. Just let me know. And, I'll do what I can to help you out.